Cosmic horror. Ancient tomes containing forbidden knowledge. Unfathomably powerful eldritch beings and dreamlike visions of other dimensions beyond human understanding. Pretty scary stuff. But what if it could be
cozy? For most of my life, I didn't really have an interest in cosmic horror. Then, almost a year ago, I started playing a little game called Call of Cthulhu, and since then it has become one of my favourite genres. So much so that as a creative project I have been designing my own pantheon of eldritch beings. First was the Cabin Keeper, who keeps watch over secluded dwellings in forests and woods, with a flickering flame to light the way for those who are lost in the wild. Next was the Soup Hag, with her gourd cauldron always brimming with bubbling broths and delicious soups for those seeking nourishment. As I work on the next deity, you might have noticed a theme. My unknowable ancient gods aren't really the sort to cause madness or sensations of existential dread. They are very much in the business of providing comfort and warmth, especially during the autumn and winter months, albeit in a slightly creepy kind of way. From what I understand, most of the beings who make up what is referred to as the Cthulhu mythos are neither good nor evil. They just are, and what they are is incomprehensible. Evil acts are perpetrated in their name, but most eldritch beings are supposed to be beyond conceptions of morality. A general theme is that just witnessing them will engender such a deep sensation of dread and hopelessness that it will drive one to madness and or horrific violence. They are so big, and we are so very small, after all. What could our world, our very lives, matter in the face of such enormity? While I think this is a great source of horror, I do also find it a little too grim at times. For one thing, I subscribe to the Carl Sagan point of view that in the mostly empty vastness of the cosmos, the mere existence of our planet and its many life forms is something to treasure and not dismiss. Secondly, if the evil acts in cosmic horror stories originate from humans, then why should there not also be good done in the name of these beings? And so, that is how I got inspired to create a pantheon of cozy, autumn and winter themed eldritch gods. I'm thinking of naming the pantheon the Gezelligeon, inspired by the untranslatable Dutch word gezellig, which generally speaking means a cozy sensation of conviviality and fun. Here we have the latest addition to the Gezelligeon, the Leaf Reader. They find fallen leaves that have been gnawed into by caterpillars and snails, and interpret the markings to tell stories. Telling tales, be they from a book or a film or even a shared role-playing game, is something I strongly associate with this time of year. As the days get shorter, the evenings can be brightened by enjoying a spooky ghost story or a tale of high adventure, alone or together. As you can see, I had some trouble choosing a colour scheme, but eventually settled on a more autumnal palette with some oranges, reds and yellows. Now, I know that this particular creative project might seem odd. I'm aware that it's kind of the point to have bleak outcomes and hopeless causes, even when the protagonists win in a cosmic horror story, insofar as they can win. The victory always comes at a terrible price. But the Gazeligaon isn't really meant as a refutation or subversion of the established darker mythos. I think they could both exist in the same universe. If there can be evil cults and secret societies running around committing despicable acts in exchange for favours from Cthulhu and company, why can't there also be people lighting a candle for the cabin keeper, or making some pumpkin soup in honour of the soup hag? The fourth member of the Gazeligaon that you can see me working on here is probably the one I'm most pleased with. I don't think there are many other things that sum up autumn and winter as well as wrapping yourself up in a big blanket and enjoying a hot drink. And as far as she is concerned, it may as well be a holy ritual. Originally, I had envisioned just a shambling pile of blankets with a couple of skeletal hands poking out, offering a mug of hot chocolate. While I was sketching out the design, however, I decided to offer a little peek at what this being looks like under their many coverings, and I opted for an insect or arachnid-like form. I couldn't really decide if she should have a face or some other feature just barely visible under the blanket hood. I had considered a spider-like face with many eyes, or a window into space filled with shimmering stars. In the end, I decided it should just be a void. Some things are best left up to the viewer's imagination, after all. As with the leaf reader, I chose an array of autumnal colours, with a few hints of green, blue and purple to suggest changing leaves and longer nights. Finding a name for her was also tricky. In the end, I chose something that I felt evoked the sensorial experience of encountering this particular deity: the Scuttling Hug. And that is the Gazeligaon, for now at least. I may add some demigods and minor aberrations at some point, but these four will be at the top. Would you worship the Gazeligaon? What kind of cozy rituals do you think would please them? Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, and would like to see more of my work, be sure to subscribe to my free newsletter over on Patreon. There is a link to that, as well as my website and itch.io store in the video description. Until next time, bye bye.